is going on, guys? So today is a super rainy, gloomy day outside here in St. Louis. So I decided I'm going to do something a little bit different with this video, and this is actually going to be a tutorial on how to make your Instagram feed a giant collage using Photoshop. A lot like my Instagram feed. Shameless plug right here. If you haven't seen my Instagram feed, it looks like this. You should definitely go and check it out. Now, I make my Instagram feed like this using Photoshop, and I get questions all the time. How did you do this? Will you make a tutorial on this? How did you learn how to do this? And all of that sort of stuff. So I'm gonna make a video right now, right here, today, on how I create my Instagram feed. So let's dive into the computer and get started. So we're gonna open up Photoshop right here. Perfect. We're going to go to create new, and we're going to create a new document. So this is where you kind of have to do some math, right? So if you're going to create a document for Instagram, you have to think about one Instagram square. So one Instagram square, the maximum pixels that you can do for one Instagram square is 1080 by 1080 if you're going to do a square post. And if you're going to do a collage, then you need to do it in separate squares. So 1080 by 1080, there are 3 Instagram posts that go across your feed. So that would be 1080 times 3, which is 3240. So if you have 3240 across, let's just make a document that's 3240 across and 3240 up. And that will be 9 Instagram posts, 3 by 3 Instagram posts. So that's where you kind of have to do a little bit of math, but it all comes together. So let's create a document that's 3240 by 3240. So that's right here. And we're going to go ahead and create. So here we go. This is our document right here. Now, the first thing we have to do is split this up into the different pieces for our Instagram. We're going to go over here to view and new guide layout. It's right here at the bottom of view, new guide layout. And so we're going to come in here, and this is what's really nice about it. You don't have to type in any pixels or anything like that. You can literally go right up here and do custom, columns, rows. We want 3 columns, and we want 3 rows right there. We can preview it, and as you can see, here are our 9 squares of our Instagram feed right here. So it's really simple. It's so simple. There we go. We're going to click OK. Now I like to come up here to view and lock guides just so I can't go and move these guides around at all whatsoever. So now that we have our 9 squares on Instagram, we're going to go and add some pictures to it. Now there are a ton of different ways to go about this. A lot of people go and take a ton of different photos and a ton of different stuff, do a ton of masking, take out a bunch of pieces from a ton of different photos and line them all up with each other. Me personally, I did that for a little while, way down at the bottom of my Instagram feed. Another plug right there, way down at the bottom. I did that for a while, and I found that that was just a little too much for me. If you want to do that, 100% go and do that 100%. It looks amazing. But for me, what I do is I just create a collage of pictures on my Instagram feed. So logically, the next step would be fill this canvas up with some pictures right here. So let's go and grab some pictures. So I just went and I grabbed a couple pictures, and now it's time to arrange them however I want. If you hold down Shift while you're resizing your photos, it keeps them in the same aspect ratio and keeps them from, getting shorter or, stretching yourself out, stuff like that. So here we go. We have our 9 Instagram squares here. I just threw this together really quick. If this was my Instagram, I might put a little bit more time into it and maybe, move some things around a little bit differently. But for these purposes right here, I think this looks amazing. So we have our 9 Instagram squares right here. Now we have to figure out how we're going to post these on Instagram. So that's actually very, very, very easy. So we're going to come over here to our tools on the side. We're going to go over here to our slice tool, which is underneath our crop tool. If you have it on your crop tool already, you have to right click on it and go down to your slice tool. Now there's this great big button right up here at the top called Slice from Guides. Now this makes our life very, very, very easy because all we do is click it and boom, all of our 9 Instagram posts are all sliced up into 9 different pieces. Just like that, we're going to go to File, Export, Save for Web Legacy. Come over here. We're going to zoom out just a little bit. Control minus. So now we have our 9 Instagram posts right here. What we can do is PNG24 is a pretty good way to do it. All of this stuff looks amazing. Click Save. We're going to come over here. Let's title this Instagram. Boom. Let's save it on our desktop. Let's go over here and save it in the Instagram folder. We're going to go images only. Default settings is fine. And all slices. You can select slices as well if you just want to export 3 of them. But for this, we're going to use all slices right there. And we're going to click save. We're going to come over here. We're going to hop into our Instagram folder. Go to images, and here we have all the different pieces. So they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. And here we have all the different pieces. So this one right here is going to be the top corner on our Instagram feed. This one right here, number 9, is going to be the bottom corner. So what you're going to do is when you post on Instagram, you're going to post number 9 first. So you're going to post number 9 and then number 8 and then number 7, and you're going to post it backwards on Instagram because it goes from the bottom up on your Instagram feed. So a great example of what this will look like all put together after you've exported it would be going back and looking at this right here. This is your reference. So this is square number 9, number 8, number 7, number 6, and that's how you post them. You'll start with this square right here and go over and go all the way. So this one will be the last one that you post. Now, this is just one example of how a lot of people take this like 9 square approach to their Instagram. Now, what I do is a little bit different. So what I do is I make a huge document that is not just 9 posts on Instagram. I make a huge document that's 36 posts at a time. So I take this to a whole new level. So I'm going to show you guys that real quick so you can see a great example of my Instagram feed. So let's open up my Instagram. So this is a great example of my Instagram right here. This is what my Instagram looks like. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can see all the different pieces right here. So these are all the different pieces on my Instagram, all the different photos sliced up with all the different guides. So this document right here, if you want to take an approach like this, it's 3 posts across, but instead of 3 posts up, it actually is 12 posts up. So what that comes out to is 3240 pixels across and 12960 pixels up. So that gives you the ability to do 12 rows of Instagram photos in one document. So this makes sure that everything is continually connected all the way up. So this that I have right here in the middle, this piece right in the middle, is just a rectangle basically. Now this rectangle, the color of this rectangle right here in the middle is the same color as the background of my intro to all of my videos because I have all of my videos on the center of my Instagram feed. So that color being the background of the intro for all my videos means that that just creates that color for the edges of these posts on the sides. I don't post this center square right here. This center square is just there as like a placeholder, and then I go and post a video on top of that where that ends up being on my Instagram feed. So exporting this, something like this, is the exact same thing. You're going to go up to File, Export, save for web legacy right here. And it's a huge document, so you have to give it a minute. We're going to zoom out here. And here's a good example of how you can select slices. I can come over here and select, let's say I just want to export these 9 or these 12 right here. I can select those, or let's say I just want to select those 3 right there. I can export those. Or if I want to export just the 2 sides of it and not get the, and not get these center squares right here, I can export just those 2 and those 2 right there. Now, PNG 24, you click save, and you're all great. Now, I've already saved these, so I don't need to go and save them again. So when you have that many photos all in one spot, it ends up looking like this. So these are all of those pictures that you see on my Instagram, and they're all right here. So it exports a lot more at a time, and it gets a little more complicated trying to line them all up in your camera roll before you post them on Instagram. But it's a little bit more work, but it ends up being worth it when you have an Instagram feed that looks like this. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this does help a lot of you out with your Instagram feeds. I know it's something really cool that a lot of people are starting to do now. So, it'd be really awesome to see a lot of you guys trying this with your Instagram feeds. That would be awesome. I hope this helps you out. I hope this is very informational and teaches you a little bit more about how you can use Photoshop for your Instagram and leverage social media a little bit better. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that, or if there's anything I didn't really cover in depth in this video, feel free to ask me a question, leave it down in the comments below, or shoot me a DM on Instagram. And I'm gonna end the video off here with a keep living like a drunk little kid, and I will see you guys tomorrow.